Well, great afternoon. I'm ready for Tahiti. What do you think? Now I've got Tahitian hair, except for instead of black or brown, I have got red Tahitian hair. I'm so ready for Tahiti. I do miss my time when I was living in Hawaii, in Oahu, and I was living above this store. It was Samoans had the store downstairs, and I was just living upstairs from them. But yeah, I've always enjoyed, especially the dancing. You know, now my favorite is traditional, the Hawaiian traditional dance. Not as much the more modernized version, but I like really the traditional with the chanting and everything. That's my favorite. Now, when I lived in Hawaii, I used to hike back to this waterfall. It was quite dangerous because a lot of people, you can't go back there now because a lot of people, you get caught in that rain and it would come up, and there's no way to get out if you get caught back there. And it would rise water so quickly. So, but I do miss my time there and hiking the back Pali, the old highway. They used to have Pali, going up the Pali. But it's kind of, you have to be careful back there because there are a lot of wild pigs, a lot of wild boars and stuff that I used to see their tracks all the time up there. And they can be very nasty, so you don't want to get caught back there with wild boars. But anyway, I do like my Tahitian hair. So this again is another one. This is human hair. This is real hair. This isn't just synthetic. And I got it on Amazon. Now, when I got it, it was like, you see this curl like this? It had like this curl. Now, I could make it this curl again, but I brushed it out. And if you brush it, what you get is this more frizzy style of like Tahitian hair. Now, if I wanted to go back to this really kind of a curly type, you can put it, put it in water and you can get it to go back. But here, the back of it, you see, I did not comb all that out. You can see the difference, how that is. Okay. Now, I can take the brush and comb all that out, and then I will have that Tahitian looking hair all the way around. Really, just, wow, really, just really, there we go, really full. Now I could get the brown, but I cannot wear black hair, and so you never know. I look much better in red than I do the brown, but I could wear a light brown Tahitian hair color. I would like, if I could find the blonde, that would be fun. Now I would do a blonde one of these. I think I'll look and see if they have blonde. But I like the Tahitian. What do you think? I think it's fun. I'm ready for Tahiti. Oh my goodness. Like I said, have fun, enjoy life. But, yeah. Now I do have another human hair wig coming. I don't know when it's going to come, but I had it specifically made in China. and they're done making it, and it should be on its way. Now, when it's going to get delivered, I'm not sure. But it will be straight. It's not, it's not kinky like this. It's going to be, it should be this color, this type of color, but straight. And this one is, I think it's 20 inches. But of course, if it's kinky, it's going to look shorter. But yeah, this one is a 20-inch, and I got it through Amazon. It is human hair. It's on the band. It's one of these band types. Now, they work better for me because some of the wig caps are so big that they don't fit me right. So these band ones work quite well. I can do these. And I do like, having the band. It feels more secure, etc. Oh, I wish we had real plumeria trees here. When I lived in Hawaii, I always had plumerias in my hair. I wore them every day. And it's so nice when you walk around Hawaii and you smell the plumeria. And then sometime honeysuckle. I remember honeysuckle and plumeria. Ah, I love them. So anyway, here is my Tahitian hair. I think it's fun. Now, it looked god-awful before I had my makeup on. If you're going to do something like this, you may have to wear the makeup because you need a little more color. If you're like me, very, very light-skinned, you may have to do some color. Now, what they sent with this is they sent 3 different headbands with it. The other one's in the other room. So that's nice. It was just a little extra thing that they sent. 3 different headbands. You don't pick the ones. They just send you 3 different ones. Oh, I like this. Now this I could wear with my one dress I have in there that's got like the, it's white, yellow, and green, that dress. Oh, that would be nice. I can wear this with my, with that dress, my Tahitian thing. Yeah, that would be cute with it. And of course, this always goes well with this kind of hair. The kind of a leopard-looking one. Okay, or cheetah or leopard, whatever you want to say. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to look and see if they happen to have blonde or if they have a really light brown, like regular Tahitian. So I do like the Tahitian look here. It reminds me of Hawaii and all of that. Now, speaking of Hawaii, the other day I ran across this thing about the Black Dahlia murder, okay? And when I lived in Hawaii, my roommate was Tamar, and she told me her father was the one that committed the murder. Now, she was kind of out there, okay? She had 3 sons. I only met the one son whose name was Love. And Michelle Phillips was a friend of hers, and I met her as well. And, I thought it was just kind of wild what she was saying. But she was really badly sexually abused by her father, and he was a doctor. And the Black Dahlia murder case is a big one. Now, I just came across it the other day, and there she was, bigger than life, her picture there. And that's exactly what she looked like when I knew her back there in Hawaii. And she was telling me all this stuff. She also told me something that wasn't ever reported, that they had some secret passages between some of the houses out there, and they had a sex ring going as well. So that's something that you've never seen reported, but she told me that they had that. And they had lived in this famous house. It was, and they had these big extravagant parties. And so she was telling me all this. It was in Los Feliz area. Now I used to live in Los Feliz as well. And now I didn't know that where they had lived was Los Feliz until just recently. But yeah, they had a very famous house. And after the murders, her father left the U.S. He lived in the Orient. He lived in Hawaii for a time. He lived in Japan, and then he lived in the Philippines. And he never came back to the United States again. And they have him on a recording, and some are poo-pooing it and saying, oh, he knew he was being recorded. His secretary was found dead, and I guess she knew something, and he said, they'll never get anything. What are they going to do to me now? She's dead. Okay. So it just, gives you the creeps. I after looking at it, and his son, I guess, was a detective, and he wanted to prove his father's innocence. Instead of proving his innocence, he said his dad was the one that did it. Now, when they found the body, they found some things that there were also in their house. These cement and some other, was it black, some sort of a dirt potting soil or something, and they found it over there by her body where she was dumped, that they also had that in his house. Okay, so looking at all that and knowing that he was a sexual sadist, her father did it. I'm very convinced that he was the one that perpetrated these crimes. The Black Dahlia, she said he also murdered some other women as well. And I believe her. I believe her now. Now, like I said, when I knew her, she was, I felt sorry for her. She was so PTSD and so depression, and was using, smoking marijuana and stuff every day. And she was really, how do I want to say it? Really fragile, really just, and with what she went through with her father as a sexual predator, and he being a sexual sadist and stuff, and the stuff that he put her through that I found out later. No wonder she was the way she was. Okay. Now her son, when I knew her, he was about maybe 15 or 16. I never met the other two boys. They were older. I guess he was the youngest one. And when I knew her, he was maybe 15, 16, and he would go out. He had blonde hair, and he'd go surfing all the time. I just remember him surfing and thinking, what an odd name, what an odd thing to name your son Love. I was like, Love? Your son's name is Love? Yeah. And one of her other sons was named Peace and something, and I think the other one was like Joy. I don't know. She had very odd names for them. And at first when I met her, I just thought, oh, maybe she's done too much LSD or something. She's out there. But yeah, no, she's out there for a reason, with what happened to her growing up and everything. I guess the father, he died when he was really old. I think it was like 92 or something like that when he finally passed. But again, he never came back to the United States. So, yeah. So looking at all this, information and stuff, I'm convinced that her father was the one that did kill Black Dahlia. Isn't that creepy? like I said, I've met some people in my life. I don't know how I meet these people, but I meet them, and I was her roommate for a while. Lived up in the, what's the name of it, Diamond Head area. It was called Diamond Head area when I knew her. And yeah, that's when I also knew the guy that said he was a walk-in, okay? And very dark alien beings. You just don't even want to know. I mean, crazy stuff. But, and this former policeman that was now running guns, I'm just like, yeah. So a lot of crazy things that I've experienced and people I've met, and I don't know why I meet all these people. Another guy that I knew when I lived in Chinatown, San Francisco, he was a big, like mafia type person, Chinese, and owned, I seen him pick up a phone and close down things, and he just kept very low key. Where he lived in his business, he just ran his cover was he ran an insurance business. But he had these big contacts, and I mean, he was some big mafia type criminal. I'm glad that I knew him as, a good acquaintance, and I wouldn't want to be on his bad side, let's put it that way. But yeah, I don't know how I wound up in this lifetime meeting these people, and I've met them, but I never was fortunate. I never got drawn into any of this negativity and stuff, but I did meet them. I did know them. Crazy. I look back on it now, and how did all this stuff fit in one lifetime? Sometimes I wonder, was I in 2 dimensions at one time? Because there's no way all this stuff could happen in one lifetime. I still try to put it into some chronological order, and just, yeah, no, you don't. I don't know how it all fit. Because I have had some really, really crazy life experiences. Wow. So anyway, on that note, I don't know how I got off. Oh, I got off on that tangent because of my Tahitian hair. Oh, I wish I were in Tahiti. Yeah. I do love the Tahitian dance as well. They are just... wow, some of those girls are so talented. But again, one of my favorites is the Hawaiian, Hawaii, and the ancient hula style. Not the more modern. I like the ancient, where they make your skirts out of the tea leaves and everything. And yeah, that's my favorite. So on that note, I'm going to leave this here, and we'll see you online.